Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a what's in my kit video. Finally, I've been putting off making this video for quite some time because it's just going to be such a long and tedious video to film. I just know it is. I hope you guys don't mind the white background. I just thought I would change it up a little bit because I've never done white before. And coming soon. Basically, I'm showing you guys what products I use in my kit. This doesn't mean that you have to use these products. And I will make a quick disclaimer. A lot of this stuff is high-end and a lot of this stuff is MAC. If you have a problem with MAC cosmetics or if you have a problem with high-end brands, I apologize. This is just what I use on my clients that works for me. And it's not to be taken the wrong way. Like, just want to put that out there. Okay. Also, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys kind of like the bare essentials of a kit. So when I was pulling apart my kit, I just thought, okay, if I had to redo my kit, what would I have included like as like the bare essentials to cover all of my bases? That's kind of how I thought of it. I'm first gonna start off with like brush cleaners and makeup removers and stuff like that. So the makeup wipes that I have been using for years now, and I'm talking like since I was 16 years old. So the wipes that I've been using for the last 4 years are these ones here. These are by Reynard Health Supplies. If you guys live in Melbourne, you can get these from Victorian University in King Street. And I love these because they are unperfumed. They have no fragrance to them. They're just a water-based wipe. They never dry out. The sheets are huge. Like, let me show you. This is one sheet. That's just one sheet. It is huge. You can take a whole face off with this. And what I even do is sometimes if I have like really stubborn waterproof makeup, I'll just grab some remover, pop it on the actual wipe itself, and then just start buffing away at my face, and then everything comes off like that. They are super, super durable. They don't like start going furry and fluffy. They don't start falling off and falling apart and shit like that. So these are my holy grail makeup wipes, and they will be for a very, very, very long time. In this pack, you get 50 wipes, and they are, I believe, $9 each at Victorian University. So I stock up. I get like maybe 8 or 10 packs at a time, and a lot of the times they have 30% off. So you can get like 10 for the price of 7. That's how it works out, you get it. Okay, so speaking of makeup remover, this has got to be my holy grail oil-based makeup remover for when I remove eye makeup or really stubborn liquid lipstick. So what I usually do is I usually pour a little bit of this onto the wipe and then use this to wipe off the rest of my face. So this is the L'Oreal Gentle Eyes and Lips Express Makeup Remover. You can get this from Kohl's, Target, Priceline. You can get this from pretty much anywhere. The oil is the blue part, and then you have the rest of the formula, which is the clear. So you gotta shake this up really well, and then you can just pour it onto a cotton pad, pour it onto a wipe, and off you go. I always make sure that I have brush cleaner and alcohol. I have decanted them into these spray bottles because they're just so much easier. And I also have another one of these that just has plain micellar water. Is that how you pronounce it? So in the alcohol one, it's not like alcohol that you drink. It's not vodka, honey. It's actually just isopropyl alcohol or isocol. If you guys are from Australia, you guys know what that is, like with the little green alligator on it. That's all I have in this. I use this to disinfect all of my tools, And then in the brush cleaner, I have currently the Scotties Studio Brush Sterilizer. This is definitely one of the best brush cleaners I've ever used. Besides the Kitcho one, which you guys know that I love. The Kitcho one and this one here takes off literally every single product on your brushes that you can think of in an instant. Waterproof eyeliner, smudge proof, anything, like it just gets rid of it. It doesn't dry out your brushes, which is great. And yeah, so this one I'm really, really loving at the moment. And I also have this little bad guy. So here I have my cotton buds or Q-tips, eyeliner applicators, mascara wands, and then lip gloss applicators. I'm sure you can get this whole container from like eBay or Amazon, and then you can also get all of your applicators from there as well. Now, where I store my makeup is in my Alex drawers in my bedroom. However, when I do freelance work, I do store it in a suitcase, and then when I have clients here at home, I put it on one of these little hairdressing wheelie trolleys. Then I also have labels for each category as well. Okay, so moving on to skincare. Now, skincare is very, very personal to a lot of different makeup artists. Like, it really depends on your client's needs, like skin needs. That doesn't make any sense. Oh well. So with every single client, one product that I have to use on everyone just to completely cleanse the skin of any dirt and gunk and any extra makeup that might be still left over after they remove their makeup with the wipes is the MAC Softening Lotion. Now, I have decanted this into a Fix Plus bottle, but I do know that they repackaged the softening lotion to actually be a spray I'm pretty sure. So I usually just spray this onto a cotton pad, buff it over the skin. And if you have a client who has really dry or dehydrated skin, I would even just get a few cotton pads, soak them with this, and then just slap it onto the face and then leave it for about a minute or so, just so this can be absorbed into the skin, because when this is absorbed into the skin, anything you put on top is going to pull into the skin a lot quicker, and you're gonna get a lot more hydration going on the surface of the skin quicker. So if I have a client who just has very normal skin, doesn't have large pores or anything like that, I will go in as a primer, this is, with the MAC Natural Radiance Primer. This is one of my favorites because it just hydrates the skin. In the name Natural Radiance, it gives a really nice natural radiant look. If I have a client who has very dehydrated skin, then people who are out in the sun a lot and have a really leathery skin, then I will mix MAC Moisture Infusion with MAC Essential Oils. This is the unfragranced version just because I don't like to use products that have fragrance in them. So I'll do a few pumps of this and a few drops of this, so maybe 4 pumps and 3 pumps, or 3 pumps and 2 pumps, kind of just one under, just so that way you get the maximum hydration. What I'll do is I'll mix it into my hands and then really press it into the skin to give a really nice healthy looking glow and to make their skin look a lot more hydrated. If I have a client who has a very, very oily T-zone, or who just is very, very oily in general, I will definitely go in with the Benefit Professional Matte Rescue Primer. No, hold on, this isn't a primer, this is just a moisturizer, I think. I have used this on a few clients and I've actually used this on myself. Now I have very normal to combination skin, my nose does get quite oily. This definitely does make the skin look quite matte, very, very matte. So if your client is super oily, in the T-zone, just pop this in the T-zone and then a normal moisturizer everywhere else or whatever. And if they have very large pores, then I will go in with the Professional Primer. Of course, you guys obviously saw this coming. One product that I always have to apply on my clients is a lip balm of some sort. I love the MAC Lip Conditioner because it has shea butter in it. It's really, really hydrating and it smells kind of good. When I do my makeup application, I usually do lips last. So I'll pop this on right in the beginning while we're priming and prepping the face, and then I'll just take it off once we get onto lips, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. The lips are nice and moisturized and hydrated. Okay, now one other product that I need to have in my kit at all times is MAC Fix Plus. This is a hydrating mist. It is not a setting spray. You can use it as a setting spray. You can use it to spray on top of your makeup to kind of melt all of the products and powders in with each other so they look a lot more skin-like. But this is a hydrating mist. So I usually use this underneath makeup. So after I use softening lotion, I'll then go in with a few spritzes of Fix Plus, let that set on the skin, maybe buff it in with a brush, and then I'll use it to also wet down eyeshadows and use it on top of the face to set. And if you guys want a setting spray that has a matte finish, then the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray is bomb. Okay, so moving on to base. Now I have 3 different foundations that I keep. These are all by MAC once again. Now, okay, I just wanted to quickly point out, just in case people aren't familiar, I used to work for MAC, so that's why I have a lot of their products, because I was trained on how to use their products the right way, if that makes sense. So this is my foundation drawer. It's really excessive, I know. But basically in here I have MAC Face and Body in a bunch of shades. I have Studio Fix Fluid in a bunch of shades. And then I also have the Mineralized Moisture in a bunch of shades. In the face and body, hold on, let me just get this right real quick. I love using face and body for diluting foundations, making them a little bit more lighter in coverage, especially if your client has really, really good skin and you don't want to, cake on the coverage. So the shades I have in face and body are C1, C4, C6. So let me hold these all up so you can see the color difference. So I usually get kind of in between shades, that way I can mix and match. I'll get 1, 3, and 5. That way I can mix 1 and 3 to get 2, 2 and 5 to get 4. No, 3 and 5 to get 4. And then I also have N1 and N3. So N1, N3, C1, C4, C6. Now C6 I don't use as often. I use this to cream contour sometimes, just to get a really nice light contour. However, I usually use this to darken foundations if my foundations don't match or if they're too light. And then I'll use C1 and N1 just depending on the person's undertone to lighten foundations as well. Okay, so for Studio Fix, I have the shade NC15, NC25, NC37, NW10 and NW25 as well. With Studio Fix Fluid, it is a very full coverage foundation and very matte, whereas face and body is very light and luminous on the skin. So mixing these two together is such an amazing combo because you get the coverage of Studio Fix but the finish of face and body. So for someone who has more of a dry skin type, like a normal to dry skin type, this combination is perfect. I always mix these two foundations together on every single client and I've never had a problem. And the third foundation that I have, Mineralized Moisture, is very selective. You don't have to get it if you don't want to, but it is a very good foundation to have in your kit. So I have the shades NC30, NC42, NC25, NW15, NW25, and NW35. So I have 6 of these. Fuck, I didn't realize I had 6. So mineralized moisture in the name, it does have a lot of minerals in it, which means that it doesn't last as long on the skin, but as long as you powder the face, then you're usually good to go. I love using these foundations on people who have more of a mature skin type, who don't like a lot of coverage and don't want it to look thick and heavy, because this is such a light to medium coverage. You can definitely build it up and it sets beautifully on the skin. It doesn't settle into fine lines and pores and stuff like that. But if you don't want to go ahead and buy 6 more foundations than you already need, then I would go for prolong wear concealers and then mix these with face and body. So the way that I would do it is I would use face and body, buff it all over the skin. This is if you want like a medium to fuller coverage, but you want it to look really, really natural. Get your face and body, buff it all over the skin with a brush. If you guys need brush recommendations, I'll leave my favorite brush video down below and then you guys can check that out. So I would use face and body, buff it all over the skin, and then go in with a couple pumps of prolong wear concealer in a matching shade. And then I would buff that straight over the top and you get full coverage. It looks super natural, super luminous, and it's just a gorgeous combo. It really, really is. So in prolong wear concealers, I have the shades NC15 and NC25. And NW20 and NW25, because these are very, very different in tone. Like that's NW25 and that's NW20. Like that's not one shade darker, that's like at least 4. Mac, get your shit together. I would have to say the most popular combination is the NC15 and NC25. I usually mix these together to get a really nice highlighted effect on my clients. Whew. I'm like working up a sweat here. All right. These prolong wear concealers are super full coverage, matte finish. They set on their own, but I usually set them with the powder anyway, just under the eye. These are crease resistant. However, they still do crease, obviously like everything else. So I always just powder them just to be safe. And if you guys need a corrector, then I would go for the Benefit Erase Paste. This is one of my favorite concealers right now. This is all I have under my eyes right now. I would have to say it's very similar to the Bobbi Brown correctors in Peach, I think they're called, or Light Peach or something like that. Super full coverage, super creamy, super easy to blend out. And yeah. All right, so moving on to cheeks. Now, for setting powders, I'm gonna show you guys the few that I can't not have in my kit, if that makes sense. I have 4 MAC Mineralized Skin Finishes. These are all that I use. I even have some Studio Fix powders that I use on my clients as well, but they're not like, I use these a lot more. So here I have Light Plus, I have Medium Plus, I have Medium Golden, and I have Dark Deepest. Dark Deepest is actually really, really beautiful on people who have more of a tan skin as a contour or a bronzer. So let me just hold up the powders. So on the right, that one there, so Light Plus, Medium Golden, and Dark Deepest. Yeah, Light Plus and Medium Plus are definitely the most popular. I use these on pretty much every single one of my clients. I'll just get like a big powder brush, pop that all over the face, and then go in with Light Plus on its own and use that to highlight under the eye, and it just looks gorgeous. If you guys are looking for a translucent loose powder, RCMA no color powder, can't go wrong. Beauty blender under the eye, wham bam, thank you ma'am. Now, if you guys want to cream contour, I would recommend going with the Studio Fix Fluid in NW50. This is by far one of my favorite products to use to cream contour because it's really warm, it has a really warm undertone to it, but it can still get away with looking like a contour. It doesn't look like an orange line, doesn't look like a streak. I would say use this on people who have more of like a light to medium to darker skin tone. I wouldn't put it on someone who is very fair or light in tone, but medium darker, perfect. Okay, so onto some highlighters. Now, I do have a top 5 favorite highlighters video. I'll leave that link down below as well if you guys want to check that out. But otherwise, I can't go wrong with my Champagne Pop by Becca and my MAC Soft and Gentle. You guys know how much I love these highlighters. I have had these for such a long time now, and I just hit pan on my Becca Champagne Pop. And the MAC Soft and Gentle still has heaps to go, so can't go wrong. If you guys are looking for a really good blush that goes with every single look, like I'm talking every freaking look, like this is such a gorgeous peachy pink blush. MAC Warm Soul is everything. Let me like, this video might as well be sponsored by MAC. It's not sponsored, but like MAC, like can you sponsor me? Thanks. So here is what it looks like. It's very skin tone, but once you swat, you can't even fucking see it. I don't know if you can see there, but it is a really, really gorgeous peachy pink shade. It goes with every look, almost every skin tone. You can't go wrong with it. It's definitely one that I need to have with me at all times. Now, if you guys are more of a palette kind of person, then for blush, I would go with the Tarte Amazonian Clay Color Wheel Blush Palette. Fuck me. Here is what it looks like here. You get every single shade you need, like literally every single shade. You got your pinks, you got your apricots, you got your medium, you know, more purple shades, you have your highlight shades. Such amazing quality. They're super, super creamy, and I actually think I like this formula of blush better than any other, now that I think of it, because this palette is just something that I just keep on going back to. I can't put it down. Every single time I do a face, I need this. For contouring and highlighting, like powders, this is. If you guys want a palette, the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette is everything. Like I actually use this. No, did I use this today? No, I did. I used this in my last video, I think. I use this on pretty much all of my clients because Hello, you have literally every contour shade you need here. I find that this shade here is the one that I use most on people. It reminds me a lot of MAC, I think it's Shade Star. Yeah, and all of these highlight shades are absolutely gorgeous. They're super pigmented. So yeah. Now, if you have a more bougie clientele and they want something a little cuter, a little bit more high-end, then the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Kit is definitely my go-to. As you can see, I just hit pan on the yellow and I'm depressed because it is such a nice shade. I even use these as eyeshadows sometimes because they have such an amazing color payoff and a really, really, really good blendability to them. So yeah. So moving on to eyes, I'm gonna be showing you guys my favorite eye bases first. So first of all, of course, MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. It's super yellow in tone, so it's gonna cancel out any discoloration on the eyelid, as well as darkness and veins, redness, that kind of thing. It's super full coverage. It's almost like a concealer, but it's not. Like, don't use it as a concealer because you'll regret it. If you have a client who has more of a yellow undertone, this is going to be perfect for them. If you have a client who's a little bit more pink in undertone, then I would go for Painterly. I've had this for years, and as you can see, it has like a rim around it because it's so dry. But Painterly Paint Pot by MAC is definitely another holy grail for so many people. Now, we all have that client who is like really late all the fucking time and is always like 15 minutes behind. So if you really need to smash out an eye look really quickly on them, go for MAC Indian Wood Paint Pot. It is a bronzy color. Pop this all over the lid, like just on the center, and then use another brush to buff it all out, because as you buff it out, the shimmers actually fade away and then you get a really nice crease color as well. So I find that when I use this, I only need like maybe 2 other shades of eyeshadow and then the whole eye is done. If you guys want a clear eyeshadow base, the MAC 24-Hour Extend Eye Base is everything. It is super creamy, pretty much no color to it, which is amazing. On the back of my hand, it looks a little bit pink, but once you blend it in, it blends into nothing, as you can see. Even though this is 24-hour wearing and you can use it on its own, I always do set it with a powder, just so that way you have a really nice soft base to work off and you can just kind of go straight in with your eyeshadows and they won't go all fucked. Before I do eyeshadows, I'm gonna do eyeliners really quickly and just get this out of the way. So for liners, I always carry a gel, a liquid, and 3 pencils on me. A black kohl pencil everyone needs. I have a brown, this is Teddy by MAC. This one here is a Cargo Cosmetics one, but I would get MAC Feline. And this white one is MAC Fascinating, which you guys have seen me use many times before. So for liquid liner, I always have the MAC acrylic paint in black on me. This is a must-have in my kit because it is so black, it is so waterproof, which is amazing. And because it is a body paint, you get a shit ton of product in here, but you don't have to use it on the body, you can use it on the eye. I would not use this in the waterline. Don't use a liquid liner in the waterline. It will burn, you will regret it. Your client will regret getting you to do their makeup, so don't do it, it's not a good thing. I actually accidentally tipped this once and my life was over. You do have to shake this quite well though, because it is a body paint, it will separate. For a gel liner, of course, like this is no surprise to any of you at this point, this is the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in Blackest Black. This is by far the best gel liner I've ever used. It is super creamy, super black, which is amazing, and it does not budge. Like, I can use any makeup wipe in the world without the oil, of course. It will take everything off on my face except for my winged liner. Like, it stays. It's great, it's amazing. I do recommend it, I can't recommend it enough. The best thing of all is that it's Maybelline, it's from the drugstore, and it's amazing. Don't sleep on it. Okay, so for eyeshadow palettes, I have 3 here. You don't need all 3, but I'm just gonna show you ones that I love using on other people. So this first one is actually a Z palette. It's which I'm gonna get changed very soon because we all know what happened with that. This is a mock-up of all of my favorite shades, all of my everyday neutrals. So here I have MAC Nylon, Makeup Geek Vanilla Bean, MAC Arena, MAC Expensive Pink, MAC Sable, MAC Brown Script, MAC Saddle, MAC Handwritten, and Makeup Geek Corrupt. This is my go-to palette when I don't know what to do, because you can create so many looks with this palette. Like, hello, these 3 are lid colors, highlights, your transitions, your darker ones. However, the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette by far takes the cake for this. Like, if I was to recommend any eyeshadow palette in the world, it would be this, because okay, first of all, I just hit pan on 2 of the colors, including the black, and I'm depressed. These eyeshadows are literally all you need. They're all matte. There are no weird pops of color like in some palettes, and like they're super pigmented. All right, this black, ready? Nothing on my pinky. 1 swipe. This brown, 1 swipe. Hello. This white here. Whites are really hard to make because they can go patchy really quickly, but yeah. Kat was so smart when she formulated and designed this palette because you have your everyday neutrals here, you have your cool tone shadows here, and you have your warms here. Like, it's just perfect. You can mix and match, you can do whatever you want with them. Halo eyes, smoky eyes, light to dark to light, like whatever the fuck you want to do, cut creases even. You can do it with this, and this is literally all you need. And the last eyeshadow palette I really wanted to show you guys is this new one by, I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. This is by Zoeva. This is the matte eyeshadow palette. It is neutral and warm heaven. I swear to God, these shades are so buttery, so pigmented. This brown here, oh, almost fucked it. Even this orange here. Yeah. The great thing about this one as well is that it's only $30 from Sephora? Yeah, Sephora. So yeah, it's about 30 bucks. The shades are so pigmented. I actually used this on Eyeliner in my last tutorial that I did with her. I'll leave that down below if you guys want to check that out as well. I'm like plugging all of my shit in this video. It's fucked up. And I think the Kat Von D one is about 60 or 65 from Sephora as well. But they're both definitely worth it. So moving on to pigments and glitters. The Too Faced Glitter Glue for glitters, this is literally all you need. It goes on super smoothly, super creamy. It doesn't make your eyeshadow underneath go patchy. I mean, it is a cream, so it's gonna disrupt it a little bit without going completely fucked. And as soon as you put this on, within about 15 seconds, it creates a really nice tacky base. So any eyeshadow or glitter that you put on top is going to sit there and pop like no other. It is just beautiful. Now for glitters, the two that I always carry with me because they just go with pretty much every eyeshadow look that I do. Silver glitter from MAC and Reflex Gold pigment from MAC. Let me do a little swatch of the Reflex Gold because I know people are gonna ask. As you can see, it has a really nice gold reflex to it. It is fucking gorgeous. The only thing with these glitters is that shit goes fucking everywhere. And the silver glitter is just simply a silver glitter. Very, very basic. Now, the three pigments that I need in my kit at all times is MAC Vanilla. It is very similar to Reflex Gold, but it has a little bit of a purple shift to it, which I think is beautiful. And this even works really, really well on a lighter skin tone as a highlighter. So that is vanilla pigment right there. As you can see, there's like a golden rosy undertone to it. Next is MAC Melon pigment. If you guys have like a medium to darker skin tone and you want that JLo glow, look no further. It gives such a warm, beautiful gold reflex. Like, fuck me up. And then of course, MAC Tan pigment. This bitch needs no introduction because I've used this in literally almost every video. It is just very, very simply a gorgeous rose gold shade. Mind you, there's no fix plus on these. I'm just swatching it with my finger. Whereas if you fix plus these shades, they turn so metallic. You know, I'm gonna show you. I didn't bring any fucking brushes. Fuck. Okay, but just trust me on that one, okay? They turn so metallic, it is just amazing. For mascara, I always use waterproof no matter what the fucking occasion is because if someone gets a leaky eye, someone starts crying, it's emotional, you wanna make sure that shit's not going nowhere. So I just go with the CoverGirl Lash Blast in waterproof. I kept the cap on that it comes with. I didn't use the actual wand because obviously I'm using my disposable ones anyway. For lashes, the lashes that I always go for are the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes. They have a super small invisible band so that way they're super, super comfortable to wear. They feel like you're wearing nothing on your eyes and they look really flirty and really natural, which always makes the look flawless. Okay, so moving on to brows. I usually use my Benefit brow pencils, which you guys know that I absolutely love and adore. But if you guys don't want to use those, you can go in with a eyeshadow powder. These are eyeshadows by MAC. I don't even know what fucking shades these are. Hold on. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so I just like took out the little insert that comes with this, but these are all MAC eyeshadows. So I have Omega, Coquette, Mystery, and then Brune. Brune is super dark, so for people who have very dark, almost black eyebrows, I would go in with this. I would never use a black eyeshadow in the brows because it's just way too harsh, way too fucking crazy looking. For blondes, Omega is amazing. It looks like a really weird color that you'd use in your brows, but once it's applied, it looks flawless. It looks so stunning. For people who have more of like that ashy blonde kind of color, Coquette is beautiful. For people like me, I would go for Mystery, and then for people who are very, very dark hairs, Brune. I always keep brow gel on me as well. I just have these three brow sets from MAC. This is just a clear one. I also have Quite Brunette and Brown Ebony, which is the darkest one. Okay, so last but not least is lips. Now, lips is a very, very personal to the makeup artist kind of deal. I have a double-sided palette from MAC. Now, not all of these lipsticks are from MAC, but as you can see, I've had to label them. So I basically got a spoon, like a tablespoon. I cut off the lipstick, put the tablespoon over a candle or like just like a lighter, and then I would wait for the formula to melt down, and then I would pour it into each one of these Yeah. Then what I did was I got a label maker and I made my labels for them. So when I have it on this side, I can see what shade these ones are. And then when it's over, I can see what shade all of these ones are as well. As you can see, there are a ton of shades in here, but if I had to recommend a few, I would go for Honey Love, Faux, Patisserie down here. I would go for Modesty, Ruby Woo, which is this red here, and probably Cyber, which is like a really dark purple. So that is my lipstick kit. Now, not everyone wants a normal lipstick because a lot of people just want everything to stay on forever now. So a lot of people like to go for liquid lipsticks. So my Jeffree ones are my favorite. I just did a top 5 nude liquid lipsticks video. That will be linked down below as well if you want to check it out. So my Jeffree ones, my NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams, my Huda Beauty, and then lip liners. Okay, lip liners are such a staple when it comes to people who don't have much of a lip shape. So I have a few here. Most of these are MAC, I will say. Okay, so the first one I have here is MAC Boldly Bare. It is just a very simple nude pink shade. It goes with a lot of different shades, which I love. Then I have, of course, Kylie Dolce K Lip Pencil. However, I'm sure you can find this shade in a ColourPop liner because ColourPop and Kylie are the same ones. Then I of course have MAC Whirl for all of my Kylie Jenner lovers out there, which is a very nude mauvey kind of brown color. I of course have MAC Stone, which is a very, very stone gray color, which goes with actually a lot of looks, you guys. Like, no one would think to use a gray lip liner, but if you blend it out really, really well, it can look bomb. Next, I have MAC Hip and Happy, which is a very bubblegum pink, candy yum yum kind of color. It is just, it's hot pink. I also have MAC High Energy, which is a reddish orange kind of color. It is super, super stunning. Very Lady Danger, if you guys are familiar. MAC Cherry, which goes with every fucking red lipstick under the sun. Like, hello. It is a perfect shade because it's very cool tone, so it makes your teeth look really, really white. I also have MAC Burgundy, which is just a burgundy shade. MAC Vino, which is a dark grape color, which is that one there. MAC Current, which is an even deeper purple shade. And last but not least is MAC Night Moth, which is almost black, but it's just a really, really dark purple. Alrighty guys, so that concludes this long ass video. I apologize if you guys found it boring, but hey, I got requests for it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. If you guys are aspiring makeup artists, the best advice that I have is to just put yourself out there. Make a Facebook, make an Instagram. If you guys are here in Melbourne, there is also a Facebook group called Melbourne Creative Network, which really, really helps with collaborations between models and photographers and makeup artists and hairstylists and wardrobe stylists. Yeah, so if you guys are not part of that group and you guys are aspiring makeup artists here in Melbourne, make sure you go and join that Facebook group because they really did help me out a lot when I was looking for freelance work. But yeah, they are all of my little tips and tricks, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this What's in My Kit video. It has been so highly requested that I finally just thought I'd just sit down and do it. So yeah, I love you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.